This was not a podcast that I wanted to do for a couple of reasons. The first one mainly being that I still have a sinus infection. I've had it for a few days now. After hearing the passing of this, I felt like the sinus infection doesn't even compare remotely. Now, looking at the thumbnail, ignore the fact that it's not clickbait or anything like that. I'm not using Charlie Kirk as clickbait for the video. That's not what the point of this is. It's because what I'm about to talk about coincides with, unfortunately, his demise. And the amount of general fuck ups, I mean, general, real fuck ups that live in America, that live here. And a lot of them are just not the brightest fucking people. Do you know how dumb you'd have to be to, at your job, while on the clock, talk about and congratulate and say, oh, I'm going to celebrate the death of XYZ because XYZ. Do you know how fast you should lose your job? And then the funny thing is, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I don't want to get to that point right here. Not yet. Because that's what I find such bullshit. But for this one, I want to first have like a good 30-second prayer where I just don't say anything for 30 seconds. I'm going to take a drink of Pepsi, Y'all have that. No. I'm just going to put this up for 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. Rest in peace, Charlie. Man was younger than me. Kids and a family. And y'all fucking liberal fucking douchebag looking retards that look like they just walked out of Waldo's fucking playhouse. I respect gays and trans people. But when you're going into your workplace dressing like you just crawled out of fucking Elmo's closet after getting butt raped by fucking CEOs, and then showing up to work with fucking short dyed hair, tattoos and piercings all over your fucking face, glued to your fucking phone, and then a nice example, I just watched one, Office Depot put out a statement on Twitter because of their employees that look like soulless fucking pieces of dog shit that ought to just get slapped in the fucking face or just looking like shit. Like absolute shitty people saying that, oh, a customer walked in wanting to print flyers for a Charlie Kirk respect vigil. The guy's already dead. Office Depot workers, oh, it's propaganda, you can't do that. How's it propaganda? The guy's dead. It's a respect vigil. There's no lies. Propaganda means lies. It means political lies. It's a vigil for mourning someone's death. Let me ask, all y'all this. Okay? When George Floyd died, did you ever hear any right-wingers interrupting the vigils or respects or prayers and doing this? Trying to get flyers for George Floyd, getting them printed out, and then suddenly, oh, yeah, that's propaganda. We're not gonna print those for you. You can't have respect fucking flyers up for George Floyd. No, no one ever heard of that. I didn't. I didn't get the memo. Did you get the memo? No. I certainly fucking didn't. Tonight I'm like going off script. I don't have jack shit planned because I've been sick. But I've been seeing enough to know what the fuck is going on, number one. Number two, it's unfortunate this has happened, but for now, let's go over just in general, the steps of civil war. But before that, let's figure out what the last civil war really was and like how long ago it was. It was back when Abraham Lincoln was still alive, and the whole point of the Civil War was to free slavery. So our last Civil War was about slavery because basically the North and the South was the equivalent of left and right today, where I believe the left still wanted slavery. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to relook it all up. But that was the equivalent of back then, but I'm not sure how accurate that information would be in current times, but it was small groups, North and South, East and West. Nobody fucking really knows, though, but if we had a civil war now, based off of shit back then, keep in mind, there were no computers back then, no cell phones. We barely had radio in 1800s. I don't think TV was as concurrent. Cars were a luxury. You were very fortunate to have a car in the 1800s. I don't think Henry Ford was even making them yet. If anything, maybe a bicycle. So, I mean, it's maybe about it. I don't have like the whole knowledge of cars and bicycles and vehicles and stuff up in my head from the 1800s, but like, I'm not going to sit here and say, and quote, let's all build a fucking Flintstones car together and drive it down the street and, in the year 1000, but whatever. My point in jokes being, that was then. What would Civil War look like if it happened next week? Or next month? Or next year? Is it like the Democrats gonna push all, like, Democrat states, are they just gonna push all red people out? Are they gonna push all the Republicans out and just ban them to protect them? Are we gonna separate states? Are we gonna redraw the U.S.? Is the U.S. gonna divide straight down the middle, long ways, or are they gonna do it, vertical or horizontal? Because right now, California is trying to redraw itself, and that's just on like a county-to-county basis. What happens when the whole country gets redrawn? Are we even America anymore? We're divided. Right now, our country is so divided right now, it's not even funny. And again, I'm sick, so my apologies for that. I'm gonna blow my nose. Oh, fuck. I didn't want to. Oh, fuck. So, steps to civil war going forward. The first one that happens, social justice warriors they're gonna start doxing people that are talking shit about Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk is basically the equivalent of Martin Luther King. In this scenario, Martin Luther King was severely left. And you know what's funny? The media never covers him as much. His day was wiped out. And you want to know why? It was because he was attempted to be murdered by a black woman. Martin Luther King Jr. was almost murdered by a black woman. A 42-year-old deranged psychotic black woman, no less. And that doesn't make good political propaganda or used to rile up people, so the Democrats didn't need him. So that's why you never hear about Martin Luther King Day anymore. Interesting fact. But you never heard of like right-wing extremists trying to shoot Martin Luther King, did you? I never have. Never read in any books. We just kind of let them talk, We didn't give a shit. But the moment Charlie, as a right-wing speaker activist in today's society, I'm not talking politician, because that's what neither one of them were. They weren't politicians. They weren't working for anything. They ran their own little group, their own social, maybe social worker group of activists, that sort of thing. It's not like what they were doing was against anything. Like really. They were just saying their beliefs, and unfortunately, XYZ happened. So, the first step, as I said, social justice warriors, SJWs, they're going to start fucking doxing people. They're going to get their names of the people that are talking shit while they're at work. They're going to post them, and they're going to go after their job sites first and start contacting the CEOs of these companies. And I've seen it left and right. You can go on Twitter, and there's just posts, multiple companies. DC Marvel, I think the artist for Dead Hand, this big fat blob of a dyke, this woman that looks like a gigantic fucking blob, is getting canceled right now, and that's why nobody's buying DC. And that's kind of unfortunate, because Magic the Gathering right now is doing a Spider-Man Collector's Edition soon, and I'm supposed to be investing in that, and that's part of DC. So I don't know if that's a safe investment, because, they're getting canceled right now. It's just not a good standing that we're in. I was watching the YouTube channel. It was called Get the Receipts. It's a female YouTuber. She was going over all the Twitter people and TikTokers that were complaining that they got fired from my job. And, we got it all on recording. It's pretty good. So far, seeing the left run their mouths and be held accountable right away, right off the bat, is already a nice piece of work. A nice piece of work in the right direction. Hi, right off the bat, I know this is off topic, but it seems your new Facebook account just disappeared. Yeah, it's been screwed. I have to wait 30 days. It won't let me make another one. I have to wait 30 days for my current one to be permanently disabled to make another one. Facebook is being retarded and using the same facial recognition to see who you are if you're a real person, so you can't own two accounts using that system if you've already made one previously. So if you have one currently and you never used that stupid fucking thing before, they're not gonna let you make one. So I'm locked out until October to make one. It's very fucking stupid. I tried to make one while I'm waiting for it to be deleted. I'm just like, yo, can I just delete it now? No, we have to hold your account for 30 days. It's fucking stupid. Let me get back to my point. After the doxing ends, the next thing they do is they go after the people's jobs and the businesses they're associated with. They start demanding CEOs step down, fire them, cut ties with them. Oh, I'm not going to buy your product anymore. That's step 2. Is where it starts to cancel people, then cancel business. And I'm fearing for it. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck step 3 is. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, and then what is the result? And I'm wondering, are we gonna have a whole country divide? Are we gonna be north and south again? Are we gonna be east and west? America as it is right now? Even at the vigil, one of Charlie's vigils, the fucking one Black Lives Matter retard was fucking standing outside screaming "fuck Charlie," wearing a black backpack and a rainbow faggot fucking backpack. Fuck Charlie at the vigil, and then scooters driving in. What is wrong with you people? I'm saying you people. What is actually mentally wrong with you people? Can you just ignore the fact that this is politics for 5 fucking seconds and realize the guy's dead, had his rights taken away from him, was killed just for talking to college students, young adults who haven't figured out their whole lives yet. And that's what's really, really, and I mean really fucking disturbing. We can't have open dialogue in any manner. The left's critically, and I mean critically insane. I don't mean, critically in the way most people would be thinking. I mean bad. Really bad. I want to pull up a video on here. If I can. If I can get this channel up. I want to watch this woman's channel. If I could... Oh, I just found it. What am I doing? I just found it. We got receipts. Here we go. Oh, you know what's really funny now? I just want to say this. This is out in the open. Yeah, I'm going to take my glasses off just for this one. For all those fucking bitches that were literally out there cheering for Charlie's death, who then are now on unemployment, you know what's really funny? The House of Democrats wanted to do away with unemployment. If Kamala Harris was in office, they were going to do away with it. So you should be thankful that you still have it. Because Trump wants to get rid of it too. And you know what? I hope he passes a bill that prevents anybody who said shit about his death gets 0 unemployment. And I hope that passes real soon, because I'm pretty sure Charlie Kirk Day is going to be signed in, and I'm pretty sure he could pass that with a flick of a pen too. That's what I am hoping for. Because I'm tired of busting my ass at all these fucking jobs, at full capitalism, working hard. Meanwhile, people standing around like them, I gotta find this Office Max video. I would really sell it for me. Hold on. If I can get that up, if I can get that rolling. What the fuck? Oh, here we go. They labeled it as propaganda. I want to get this video up. There's a couple videos up that I want to show people. We're going to go over it. And it's going to look hilarious. I just want to see one more. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I got the 2 videos I wanted to look at now. This is going to be good. This is going to be really good. Let me pull these up. Y'all are going to have a fun time. There we go. That's what I was just looking at. We got the receipts. We're not going to watch that, though. We're going to watch this first. So this, in particular. Oh, well. Unfortunately, I can't make that smaller, can I? Well, I guess I could. We'll do this instead. It looks a little better. some size is better than no size. But hold on, maybe I can do better on this.
A recent incident at an...
There we go. There we go. Now, let's listen to what this fucking... I wouldn't even call this a human.
Office Depot store in Portage, Michigan, has sparked widespread attention and controversy after an employee was terminated for refusing to print a poster featuring the late conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The situation unfolded on a Friday night at the South Westnedge Avenue location, when a customer requested the printing of a poster for a vigil honoring Kirk, held earlier at Bronson Park in downtown Kalamazoo. The employee allegedly declined to fulfill the order due to the political nature of the content. A video of the exchange quickly went viral, drawing reactions from notable Michigan lawmakers. Republican Congressman Bill Huizenga condemned the incident on social media, calling it shameful that the employee refused service despite the customer having paid for the order. Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt also commented publicly, sharing a post confirming that the employee had been fired. Office Depot later released a statement affirming the termination, emphasizing that the decision was in response to the employee's refusal to carry out a paid service.
But did you see the other people?
Was terminated in Portage.
These whack jobs that are all here. These look like a bunch of fucking Shaniquas. They're not Karens. These aren't. These are something above that. These aren't Andys or anything. These are just fucking idiots who couldn't get a job anywhere and needed one, and Office Depot needed people. But here's the thing. As soon as you get people in your job, if they're not willing to, like, follow even what I would consider just a dress code, they're obviously mental. Just because they show up don't mean nothing. AI can show up. Not that I'm saying you should rely on AI, but put these people in a customer service corner. You know? Don't have them work your retail front. These individuals don't even, you know what? After that, saying that that's propaganda, to me, that just screams disgust. That screams disgust. It's like, what the fuck are we actually doing? Alright, let's go to the other one.
Their mentally ill, deranged lunatic bites the dust. And we have multiple unhinged lunatics getting fired from their jobs for cheering on the Charlie Kirk assassination. We have that Secret Service agent who publicly said Charlie Kirk deserved to be killed. He's been officially placed on leave. Thank God.
So, I was just fired from my job. So, follow me. I don't know. Like this video, give me a follow, and stay tuned for more content because...
You look like you ate 2 Ethiopians. What kind of work were you doing prior? Like, holy shit. Do you realize this bitch is like 2 of my body? Look at my body frame, okay? Okay, for frame of reference, here's a 2-liter bottle. Okay? I have a very, very slender figure. This bitch is maybe like 6 of these. Across. What are you eating? How much ETB? How much food stamps? How much social service money do you get?
It is coming. It is coming.
Gotta love
That's
that
wild.
The non-binary belter. Sorry, bitch, you're just an ugly woman.
I love that though. Just outright just said, you're an ugly woman.
So this lady dancing to this song, actually, Elizabeth Jones, senior director analyst at Gartner, well, she's been fired. The Carolina Panthers communications coordinator was apparently celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk when he was fired. And this gentleman scholar, a drag queen teacher at a school in Idaho, has actually...
Keep in mind, look at these people that she's pulling up. Like, is all it takes to become, like, this... to be this fucking stupid and this ignorant of humanity, not left or right, ignorant of humanity, is all you have to do is act like a faggot that wants to go to a Starbucks every morning with a scarf and an ascot and sit there with her shirt all the way down, I mean, all the way down, showing chest hair almost, and then fucking going in there, hey guys, like it's a photo op.
He resigned instead of being fired.
He, she,
Maybe the
whatever,
heat got a
don't
little
care
too
about
hot.
their
This
fucking
United
pronouns. Fuck
Airlines
them. They lost their
pilot
job.
says he was
Good
glad
riddance.
that Charlie Kirk was dead because he was an effing Nazi. Oh, I wonder where he heard that. Well, he's been fired.
Pilot fired.
What the fuck? I thought y'all was just not giving me fired when y'all did.
I almost wonder if this one's fake because he's hamming it up too much, but he has copywritten music to try and make it so people can't repost this, so I'm torn. Either way, I hope it's real. This lady worked at Legal Aid BC, a Canadian
one-
leftist.
Oh my god, this woman is mentally ill. This next one. Holy fucking shit, y'all are gonna love this one.
Guess what happened to her?
Charlie Kirk got shot and he's dead! Finally, somebody with a gun, which is almost everybody in the fucking States, grew a pair and went and shot somebody on the right side. Thank you, can we keep this up, please?
Yeah, she was also fired. And what is this finally? It's always leftists assaulting or shooting MAGA. When has it been otherwise? This lady who worked for North Carolina Community College as an
Oh my
English
god, what is that
professor
face?
said,
It looks like a burning hot frying pan landed on her face. And then someone walked over, some really fat 400-pound man, like, took his pants off and took a shit directly onto it, and that's how her face has been ever since. Holy fuck. That's more ugly. Her face looks like a fucking missing no from Pokemon, for fuck's sakes.
quote, I'll praise the shooter. He had good aim. Right after the assassination. Classy.
Yeah, I'll praise the shooter. You did a good. You did good. Yeah.
Shout out to her students for recording her.
So, prayers and thoughts for Charlie.
Currently working as an English professor.
Thoughts for him left from all my
Not
friends,
anymore!
innocent children who did nothing wrong. We're not setting out divisive, hateful messages.
Holy shit.
We're not saying that empathy is a problem with America. I refer to him as the anti-empathy guy.
Why can't you just be sad for the kids who were shot by that trans shooter a couple weeks ago and be sad that Charlie
You know
Kirk
what?
was
Let me pause it right here. I just wanna I wanna say something real quick just before I undo this real quick. So there were a lot of people at the Idaho University, the Utah University that Charlie Kirk was at prior to being shot. And there were also children present. Now, this gunman had a bolt action and multiple rounds. He could have fired and shot at any other person there. People were endangered. Children were in danger. So, regardless of left or right, for all these people cheering, you're basically cheering for the endangerment of children because you don't know what the shooter was really shooting for. You don't know if it was for left or right. This shooter was shooting just because of a transgender comment that he didn't like or that he disagreed with. It's not even that. This is just murder to murder. And the children are in danger for it. So, my question to anyone that cheered this: are you acceptant of child murder from a random gunman at an event? A gunman that was shooting not out of political bias, but political incorrectness. And it's funny because all the Democrats try to ban the guns, and here this kid, a 22-year-old, somehow, a 22-year-old gets a gun. Sorry, I'm struggling with my words a little bit because my sinus infection. I don't have a lot of fluid in me right now. So it's probably not helping. But you get where I'm trying to go out here? Like, y'all are supporting mass murder or child murder at this point by cheering. That was a school shooting, and I don't want to hear all the Democrats go, and I seen this on a Twitter post thread, and I was disgusted. Oh, this is the first school shooting that the Republicans ever cared about. I mean, we haven't cared about all of them. Sandy Hook. We cared about that one. Pretty sure we cared about every single one that's happened so far, but they're all so on such a smaller scale. This one was a main university with an event going on where the shooter had ample position to kill anybody on sight. There could have been several deaths there that day, not just one. And there was ample time to fire more rounds. There really was. That shooter could have killed Charlie's whole fucking family right then and there. I'm almost certain his kids were right in front of him as it was happening. So I'm not too sure though, but like the bodyguard was in danger. How about this? Charlie Kirk's bodyguard that was standing in the tent to his back right. So in this case it'd be over here. And the photo that the video that was shot where he was shot in the neck right here, right? So the guy that's over here, what about him? Bullet passed right by him. He's neither left nor right. He was just there to get paid. Guy could have a family. Is it okay if he dies too, just because he's attending this event and he's just doing his job? That's what these leftists don't fucking get. And that's the insane part. But let me go back to the video we were just watching. Because, yeah, this bitch looks ugly as hell.
Shot for his speech. Why can't you just be sad for both? Either way, good riddance, Lisa. Good luck on unemployment. This sustainability strategist at NASDAQ was also just fired while she was on vacation after posting, "Rest in piss." Wow, these are some classy people. And a food vendor at an FCC soccer team who wrote, "Good riddance, what a piece of shit." Well, let's just say he's also fired.
Cornelius City Council member and middle school teacher in hot water tonight after allegedly celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk on his personal Facebook page. The post appears to have since been taken down.
Listen, guys, it starts with doxing, then businesses, and then step 3. You want to know what it is? Utilization of weapons. There's no more talk. We are very fucking close to civil war. Do not take shit for granted right now. Start gathering weapons. I'm not kidding. This is not safe anymore.
But community members upset by the message are continuing to share screenshots on their pages and their thoughts about it.
This is the post John Colgan posted to
Get
his
weapons
personal
for
Facebook
self-defense.
account following Kirk's death. It writes, quote, "Hearing that Charlie Kirk got shot and died really brightened up my day. Nobody deserves it, but some are asking for it." That post quickly screenshotted, reposted, and circulated as the comment section flooded with opinions. Some commenters pointing out that Colgan posted to his private social media, saying he should have the right to express his opinion. Others in disagreement saying he has a reputation to uphold as a teacher and a council member.
I'm for freedom of speech, but I think that when you're in a position of power, you have to watch what you say more.
No
It's
shit!
outraged that all these Democrat voters are suddenly
Even the fucking students have more of a fucking brain cell. That's the sad part.
interested in free speech after MAGA voters have been doxxed,
My fucking
harangued,
brain right
fired,
now.
ostracized. It was practically illegal to speak freely about COVID during the COVID years, much less to talk about the 2020 election. Where were they then? This guy's so brave he decided to wear a mask in 2025 while gloating about Charlie Kirk being shot. Spoiler alert, he gets thrown into the fountain behind him.
Somber day.
Okay.
Charlie deserved it, Charlie deserved it, Charlie deserved it. What the fuck?
So, sir, again, your reasoning on how he deserved it. God bless America?
Good boy!
Yeah, God bless America.
Good
And freedom of speech
boy!
is real. You're correct.
It absolutely is.
But, shooting a gun at someone and killing them is not a form of freedom of speech.
Good
like you said it is.
boy!
You did. You said that you're glad that he got shot because it's freedom of speech in America.
This guy's being a pussy wearing all fucking face mask and glasses. I agree.
God bless you.
He's
And say it
definitely a
again.
coward.
So I
to
can have
say
it on
something
video
like that.
God bless
so that I can,
You don't know the guy's living
I can
situation
rewatch
and
and
what he
re-listen.
was
God
fighting
bless
for, what he
America.
was speaking for.
If you disagree with that, then
you need
And
God,
you're
my
just
sir.
saying he deserved it.
You need to find God. Why don't you show your face?
I haven't.
Show your face.
God bless America.
Show your face, sir.
God bless America.
Come on, show your face. Don't be scared.
God bless America.
Don't be scared.
God bless America.
I was gonna say I don't believe in God, but if there was one that wouldn't support this fucking fruit.
Good boy!
Aw, womp womp. I also like this gesture. Wow. These people are pretty brazen. This lady who worked at Ole Miss University said for
Hey, look,
decades,
it looks
white
like my
supremacists
friend's
reimagined
girlfriend.
Klan gesture. Wow. These
Hold on. Let me get the
This
snippet.
lady
Let
who
me get.
worked at Ole
What's her name? Melissa. That's my friend Hunter's girlfriend right there. Look at her. It looks just like her. Melissa's dressed in drag.
Miss University said for decades, white supremacists and reimagined Klan members like Kirk have wreaked havoc on our communities, blah, 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 whatever. They've smiled while stating the reasons people who can birth children shouldn't be allowed life-saving medical care when miscarrying. Lies, 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 these are all lies. Incited and clapped for the brutalizing of black and brown bodies. Lies, more lies. So no, I have no prayers to offer.
They have incited and clapped for brutalizing of black and brown bodies. What? Where the fuck are they getting their
This is exactly
info?
why Charlie Kirk liked to debate in person with people like this. Because they cannot back up any.
Charlie Kirk is standing next to both black and white people on stage and holding hands with them. Like, they have incited and clapped for the brutalization of black and brown bodies. Is this person retarded?
Any of these claims in person. They cannot back up any of these claims in real life.
No, they wouldn't.
They cling to these lies because they actually have violent fantasies against MAGA, and they wish their lies were true to justify the hate in their heart. It's that simple. Well, womp womp, she's no longer employed. Countless
Not employed by the university. This guy just looks like a pedophile or a murderer. I'm gonna be straight honest. Looks like Brian Peppers almost. Jesus Christ.
people have gotten fired, though. This queer theory professor
Queer
at
theory
Cumberland
professor.
University, he posted messages celebrating Charlie Kirk's
Well, I mean, that answers your question right there. Queer theory. He was obviously a libcuck.
murder. He's done. I'm sorry, they, them, them's done. This lady, Amanda Macy from Manassas, Virginia, celebrates Charlie Kirk's assassination. She was a member of the Democrat Antichrist Party, and she wrote, "The world is a better place with less Trump supporters, period." This is actually a mainstream belief among many Democrat voters. But gotta love how she's openly repping the Antichrist. This guy's an actual Marine. And he wrote, "Another racist man popped," with the beer cheers emoji. So he just thinks he's racist. A lot of people just call political incorrectness racism these days. How many people do they want to be killed? Well, I guess the Marines got rid of him. So maybe there is justice after all. This Iowa art teacher who wrote "One Nazi Down" right as Charlie Kirk was shot, well, he's been placed on administrative leave. And this lady who worked at a middle school said that Charlie Kirk's assassination was divine justice.
I heard this video
just
well in
because
advance
Charlie
a couple
Kirk
of days
defended
ago,
the
and
Second Amendment. Evidently, Sonora Middle School
that was my
has
eye-opener
also
to this
fired
whole
her.
situation.
Good riddance.
But anyway, just get a recent one. I'm actually looking at the recent one. Maybe it'll get something different.
We cannot take responsibility for the minds that are out there and how they hear it.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
We are now living in a fascist dictatorship.
And we are worried about potential rise of fascism. When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
Then Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
These people shouldn't be allowed to live.
I believe any Trump supporter is officially a fascist.
It seems to me that everyone agrees that Donald Trump is not Hitler and his supporters are not Nazis. So with that in mind, I'd like to read some other headlines. These are video titles from Cenk's channel. And if in the spirit of reconciliation, maybe he wants to delete these things. Trump cuts anti-Nazi program. Trump spreading Nazi propaganda. Nazis encouraged by Trump's Charlottesville response. Trump defends Nazis, very fine people. That is the biggest political hoax ever.
Absolutely.
Trump retweets a neo-Nazi again. Trump disappoints neo-Nazi supporters. So these things don't come out of Nowhere. I only blame one person at the end of the day for these murders, which is the crazy person who does the murders. But pretending that what is wildly asymmetrical, I think I have laid that out with evidence here, pretending that it's symmetrical is deeply, deeply dangerous. Piers, you know this because we've discussed it on my show. Even on your show, you have found it way more difficult to find rational, decent people on the left who will explain themselves thoughtfully and calmly and everything else, while the panoply of people you get on the right who shouldn't even be on the right, I would say certainly someone like me, I don't know exactly where Batya considers herself, but people with a variance of political opinions that now broadly are part of the MAGA thing is because of what I just read you, the endless hysteria of the left that has ginned up people to do crazy things. It's not to say you can't say the worst things. You want to say the worst things? Donald Trump's a Nazi. It's so tough to say. You want to say that? Go ahead and say it. It falls on the person who pulls the trigger. But if we're all sitting here saying, yeah, it's not true that Donald Trump's a Nazi and it's not true that his supporters are Nazis and he's not Hitler and all of those things, well, then before you get to reconciliation, a little bit of a mea culpa by some of us might be valuable.
Dave Rubin, spot on right here. Cenk Uygur, people like Cenk Uygur have been saying the Nazi stuff, calling MAGA Nazis for a decade now. All of a sudden, Cenk Uygur, since the last election, is trying to grift off the MAGA audience, and he's completely backtracking. Dave Rubin is totally right to give him hell. Watch what Cenk says, though.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is disgusting. So this guy pretending to do conciliation, and I was going to be conciliatory towards Dave if I spoke first, but apparently that's not what he's doing at all. So what he's trying to do is get people angry in a misleading way against me. Are you trying to get
those
people
your
to be
titles?
violent?
Are those the titles of your video?
He never said anything
No,
about him.
No, let me explain. Let me explain.
Those are your titles.
No, let
buddy.
me explain. You're asking me a goddamn question, so let me explain.
Oh, he's
while you're
mad
trying to get
now.
people to
The
do
left
violence
lives.
against me. You're disgusting. So those are 80% of those titles. I've never called Trump a Nazi, and those titles were about neo-Nazi reaction. So what do you want us to do? Not tell you
very fine
what's
people.
actually
Did
happening?
that happen?
And
Did
so
Donald,
look,
did Donald Trump side with neo-Nazis?
yes, he
The
did
very
say
fine
that.
people incident
So
in Charlottesville?
He doubles down on the very fine people hoax. Wow, you cannot make this shit up.
So
Piers, how about you handle this one instead of giving it to me? Piers,
can
you
I
wanna
just
handle this
talk?
one?
So this monster.
Because Cenk was one of the few leftists to actually strike a cordial tone, to actually strike a civilized tone.
Violence is not the answer. This is a horrific tragedy, and we're all in danger now. This is a terrible, terrible thing to do. Violence is intellectual surrender. It's giving up and saying, I'm a loser. I don't know how to win in a battle of ideas. I'm going to resort to violence like an animal. It is the very last thing anyone who's progressive or on the left would ever do. We are for nonviolence. We are for peace. We are for our fellow human beings and humanity.
This guy is like 20 years late for this speech, I'm going to be honest.
Overall. So I don't know who did this, but whoever they are, they're a monster, and they've done something terrible. That was not just a pundit, that was a human being.
Cenk Uygur has actually been one of the more civilized voices on the left throughout this whole Charlie Kirk incident, and I'll explain in a second why Dave Rubin chose to do that. There is a reason, but Cenk Uygur was actually giving Keith Olbermann hell today. Keith Olbermann said, Charlie Kirk nor Trump are getting into heaven. And Cenk Uygur said, I don't know why you say things like this. Do you really think this is the time to be talking about how Charlie Kirk isn't going to get into heaven? That is a crazy inflammatory thing to say. How the hell would you know? Are you God? Why would you antagonize people like that? So Cenk, ever since the last election, has been pivoting more towards being like soft on Trump and sometimes siding with MAGA a lot online on X. So why was Dave Rubin giving Cenk Uygur some issues? Well, it's because the Democrats keep trying to distance themselves from their violent rhetoric for the last 10 years, which has apparently seeped into the minds of the young and impressionable, causing them to do heinous, violent acts. So when you have a bunch of Democrat politicians, Democrat voters, Democrat influencers, whatever you want to call Cenk Uygur, even though he calls himself an independent, he's not. When you have a lot of these people condemning the violence, condemning the assassination of Charlie Kirk without first admitting that they were also responsible for pushing this rhetoric for, again, a decade, a full decade, dehumanizing over half the population for a full decade, when they refuse to take responsibility for this, that's actually an issue. Michael Schellenberger puts it better.
But the people that did this dehumanization need to take responsibility for it. I don't think that it's good enough to just express lament about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I think the media, the left, the universities in particular, need to own up to the fact that they participated in the very dehumanization that they for decades had been criticizing when done by people on the right. So I don't think that healing is going to be possible until there's some acknowledgement of really decade-long dehumanization of roughly half of the country.
Meanwhile, the media keeps trying to spin the issue of left-wing violence as a both sides problem, even going so far as to say that if you condemn the left's violent rhetoric against MAGA, again, for a decade, that's the Democrat Party protest against Trump, the No Kings protest. While we still don't know a lot about this guy, given those facts, you can't call him a Trump supporter. So where is this right-wing violence? Give me
about his actual opinions. It's about the opinion without any contrition.
Is to try and justify homosexuality. Charlie Kirk actually said, well, in the Old Testament, the book of Leviticus, actually in Sodom and Gomorrah, people are being stoned for homosexuality. He didn't endorse that as a modern day policy. He just mentioned it's in the Bible, which it is, thus pointing out the inconsistency of that lady's argument. The fact of the matter is that Charlie Kirk was a Christian, yes. Most Protestant Christianity does not take the Old Testament literally. And if it was a few years ago, you could have assumed that most relatively educated people already knew that. Sadly, when you're trying to literally piss on the grave of a man who was just assassinated, I guess those details escape you. But Charlie Kirk, despite his beliefs about a number of social issues, really interacted with people respectfully. Even when there were trans protesters who would show up at his events and not give him the same respect. This lady is a trans protester and she actually tries to insult Charlie Kirk by calling him trans. I'm not an expert on this stuff, but doesn't that sound anti-trans, like you're calling trans people ugly?
Why does your face look like that?
I'm sorry.
Why does your face look like that?
Are you're the one saying that to me?
Yeah. And what about it?
What is a woman?
Dude, you're ugly as shit. You get no and you look like that. Like, why does your face look like that? And the woman that was up here before, she was right when she said your mom missed her abortion date because... And you look trans too. I just had to say that, yeah.
I love how she dances off as the crowd is basically saying, wow, that is extremely transphobic. Losing Charlie Kirk is such a big deal in more ways than I can even recount here, but exposing the idiocy of people like this was one of his greatest triumphs. And it was hugely influential.
He didn't even have to do anything for that one. He just sat there dumbfounded with a trans moron coming up to him. And they basically dehumanized themselves in front of a group of people. Like, that is currently the left. The left is taken away. Let's puddle back to my stream here, because we were just sitting here watching stuff. You know, we are at a point now that civil war is very close. As I've already said, these things happens in steps, you know. Back then, Abraham Lincoln days of trying to stop slavery, the Civil War, they didn't have cars, radios, the internet, you know. They didn't have the luxuries we have now in mass. So I'm wondering if we ended up going into civil war against the left. The best part of that is, and in all honesty, we're pretty much okay. The left is pretty fucking stupid. Most of them don't really know the fact that they banned guns. But that's not the main point. The point is, and this was said earlier in the videos that we were just watching, even from the left side, using a weapon makes you a loser. It means you lost in critical thinking theory. It means you lost the civility. You can't just go out and pull a gun. But if it came down to civil war, the fact that the Democrats banned all the guns and wanted to defund the police, you know, who then has more power at that point? My recommendation, everybody, especially after the steps that we're at. Right now, we are seeing the steps in progress. We're seeing the doxing of people that are fucking trash-talking the death of a political activist that did nothing wrong to deserve to die. Piss some people off, sure, in a disagreement, but to shoot the guy in the fucking neck and kill him? No. the doxing of the people saying it, to them losing their jobs, into businesses now getting canceled en masse, to be shut down. Office Max, or Office Depot rather, there's still a couple other employees. People want them. People aren't going to go to Office Max until those two people are fired. Or be Office Depot or Max, I don't remember which, but there are other businesses right now that, like, they're being canceled one by one like that. Right now, it's like Epic Games, Xbox, PlayStation, universities, schools. There was an incident, I believe, at a Home Depot recently, where one of the managers of a Home Depot was basically chanting, you know, hip hip hooray to Charlie Kirk's death. Like, we have very, 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 this isn't even a matter of the left or the right. We have very disgusting individuals living in this country. And I'm not saying get the hell out of the country, but I think it's ready to start, it's ready in high time to load up on some weapons and, you know, be prepared to protect yourself. I'm definitely going to consider upgrading from an AR rifle that I have to something much more stronger. Because I don't... With the way the current system is right now, and people off the fucking rails and on Twitter, you can go on fucking Twitter right now. Twitter is a fucking cesspool at the moment. I don't even need to look. It's just gone downhill. You know what I mean? Like, if I can fucking type, Jesus Christ. Let's look at my homepage, my feed. What do we got? Same races crying and whining about people celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder are exact hypocrites who celebrate George Floyd's brutal killing, and now they want everyone doxxed, fired, and even killed for host's words. For just the words.
And let me just say this. I'm surprised that y'all didn't get rid of him sooner. And I'm surprised that you guys aren't getting rid of more people. Like, don't stop with him. Don't let him be the end dog. Get rid of them all. And the ones that are above him. Your mayor. Your city.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna be dead ass honest. If I had seen this woman, she'd be fucking knocked out, teeth into the curb. Teeth into the curb. I'd knock her fucking lights out myself. That was just fucking disgusting. As I said, Twitter has become a cesspool. It's people reporting other shit idiots that need to be held accountable, and thankfully they're getting posted there, but I don't like seeing the shit idiots and what they have to fucking say. But to see this is somebody who deserves to get punched the fuck out and lose literally everything, their job, all of it. Estoy Tusani. This piece of shit is already unemployed, unfortunately, but we can all keep her unemployed. Yeah. She's advocating killing 3-year-olds. you know what? People like this need to be handcuffed in the back in public and get their fucking teeth punched in. People like this were not raised by parents properly. These are parents that just gave them cell phones and told them to fuck off at the age of 5. And this is what has become of them. Sheltered little fucking retards that deserve to have their teeth beaten the fuck in. These are the kind of people that, unfortunately, the way it works around Jersey, we outright call the hard R. I'm not even going to joke and kid about it. I'm not going to say that offensive term here. It's been said a couple times on the podcast. But these are the kind of hard R's that deserve to be called that. Be it racial term against all or not, this is the worst of you. And I'm pretty sure any black person, I have plenty of black friends, they'd all agree with me, this individual does not represent them. That is why I'm willing to stand behind my words and say that I would be willing to call them the hard R. And the only reason I wouldn't call them the hard R otherwise is I don't want to get this YouTube channel demonetized. Or in trouble because I'm saying the hard R. Basically. So I kind of want to keep it still on the PG-13 level. But that individual is a fucking... I can't even finish the rest of the word. But you get what I'm trying to say. Piece of shit. I hope they get knocked the fuck out and ass raped in prison for their whole life. Not murdered. Keyword. I'm not ostracizing their murder. I'm not asking for it. I'm saying they need to have their teeth punched in to learn to never say shit like that. Welcome the fuck around and find out what extra mile I had. Enjoy your stay. This is a fuck world we live in. And I shouldn't even have that on my channel right here. Jesus. What the fuck?
So over the past couple of days, there's been a lot more stuff that has came out. And I want to be very clear with everybody. I do not believe the person that they have in custody is the person who took the shots. If you look at the mug shots, they don't match. People's noses and ears don't just change. Same thing with Epstein, in case the government thinks that we're still stupid about that. Then something just came out that there was a drone flying by right when this thing happened.
Apparently there's been a shooting.
Whose drone is that? Nobody can verify who the owner is, which means that it's most likely some level of government. Then there is a video of a guy that looks like he has a gun running away.
There's a shot right there. Gunshot. Look at him. Oh, he's shot, dude. He's shot.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a gun.
I will tell you right now, I have done a lot of hunting and a lot of shooting in my life, and that does not look like a 30-06 entry wound. It looks bigger. It looks like a 45 caliber. But don't worry, we have Kash Patel on the case. What does that fucking guy even do? Oh, we're gonna release the Epstein files, and we've gotta get them out. What have you done since you become FBI director? Now's your chance to actually do something. We don't give a shit about your speeches. We don't give a shit about you looking like you just did 5 lines of cocaine looking out into the crowd.
What the fuck?
Potential person interest or suspects, but we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public should be submitted to our digital media.
Why is he looking around like that?
www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is FBI.
We care about results because we ain't just paying your salary for free. We don't just have the FBI because we feel like wasting our tax dollars on it. Stop bullshitting us. You want the American people to gather around the FBI and not look at you guys like you are just a major fraudulent organization. Actually, people end up paying more money than they need to for coverage that they don't need. That's when I was excited when I learned about Chapter. Chapter is the only advisor out there that compares every national plan to find the one that works for you. In fact, I had my parents do it. That's an order from an American who pays his taxes and by default pays your salaries. I swear to God, the FBI has become more of a diva agency, more of a literal news agency than actually doing anything. So I'm gonna put this up for the FBI so you can see it clear as day in case you guys are busy, I don't know, hiding more of the Epstein stuff. By the way, the Epstein survivors, they're creating their own list. So good luck continuing to hide it.
So I keep on seeing like posts about this Charlie dude, whatever, Kirk dude, whatever. Regardless. And let me just say this. I'm surprised that y'all didn't get rid of him sooner. And I'm surprised that you guys aren't getting rid of more people. Like, don't stop with him. Don't let him be the end dog. Get rid of them all.
Get rid of them all. I swear the internet has given some people the illusion of such a big set of nuts. I have always subscribed to the thought process of you do not say anything unless you mean it, and you do not say anything behind somebody's back or about somebody unless you are willing to say it to their face. That is the best way to operate in your life because you never have to be ashamed of what you say.
I like this guy already.
With your tennis visor and your Beats by Dre headphones, there is no way you would say this to my face. There's no way you would say this to Erica Kirk's face. They're just being emotional on the internet. She's got more though.
And the ones that are above him. Your mayor. Your city councilman. What is it? Georgia Power? The people that keep on raising our shit? The CEO, get rid of them. Yeah. Like, what? It was so crazy. I watched like a 60-minute, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. 1 minute edit of like the things he said, and they're like so atrocious that like his wife deserves to go too. Y'all keep on talking about his wife and kids. They need to go too because they're carrying on that mentality and that lineage. Like, get rid of the whole family. I'm so sorry. Why did you guys stop with him? Why did you stop with him? Go get his grandma. Because who raised you? Like, your mom ought to be ashamed for breathing scum like you. Get rid of the whole family. Like, y'all too scary. Y'all too scary for revolution. Y'all too scary for progress. Like,
we should kill children. We should kill children. Because I'm politically left and insane.
Like, it is what it is. If the trash can is stinking up the house, you gotta take out the garbage. Take the garbage out, y'all. Take the garbage out. Alright. Not me. I'm chilling.
You are garbage.
Oh boy, I gotta watch what I say right now. Lord knows I can find out who this person is very quickly. And that's the difference between us and y'all. We are capable of the most savage violence you can imagine. But we have hearts. What's the saying? Be a warrior in a garden rather than being a gardener in a war. That's us. And you may catch us on the wrong day. But this, oh, just kill the rest of his family. Why'd you stop there? I am very curious. Do you have a mother, ma'am? Or sir, I don't know what the fuck you are. Do you have a father? Do you have kids? Do you have a brother? Do you have a sister? Do you have friends? How are you unable to put yourself into someone else's shoes and
Oh,
say,
God.
remove the politics. Should his wife wake up tomorrow, look to the other side of the bed, and there be nobody there? Should that happen just because he disagrees with your thought process? I'm going to tell you something that Charlie Kirk said, because Charlie was the most respectful person I have ever seen in politics. I clearly have a very more straightforward, cut through the bullshit attitude about all of this, but I still have to suppress a lot on how I actually feel. But Charlie just had the biggest heart out there. The nicest dude. We all know people like that. Just the nicest person you could ever meet. Some would call him a level of innocent with how nice he was. And y'all just shot him. And now you're talking about killing his wife and his kids. Let me read you this quote from Charlie. And by the way, whoever commented this on one of my videos, you're a legend. People keep saying that Charlie Kirk's message was, let's sit down and have a discussion. But Charlie Kirk also said, when we stop having discussions, that's when violence happens. And the left stopped discussions. They made their choice. Truer words have not been said. If we can't sit down and say, why do you feel like you can just kill an unborn baby? Abortion. And have a discussion about it without you losing your mind. We're never going to heal as a country. So, to this person, understand that just because you may get away with saying this in the moment, I would tread very lightly on who you say this to next, or if you see one of us in public. Because there are a lot of people right now who have a lot to lose but don't care. Because Charlie Kirk's wife has ignited this country into a place that is very, very loyal to her wants. And that woman is a fucking fighter. So I would be very, very careful.
Looks like the weapon I have. Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to this channel. Heavy duty country. I found a new channel to follow. Isn't that great? At the end of a podcast. Although it feels like more like a sitting cast, so I'm just sitting around. But Jesus Christ, what is wrong with these people? What does this mean? Don't joke about the bear.
He's a little different, right? We needed somebody different. You know, autism. He's great, and he's a little different.
You know what I think the left needs? This is how I'm going to end this podcast. Okay? This is just how I'm going to end it. The left needs to smoke more weed. I feel like at this point, if they smoke more weed and go to open discussions, you know, there'd be more peace. But unfortunately, it's too late because all these fucking meth head fucking leftists goddamn going to these events being fucking stupid. And you know what? I don't... When it comes to, you know, homosexuality or gays, you know, the trans community and all that, look, I just have one thing I want to say. I just want to say it out in the open, alright? If you want to get SRS, and I'm saying this as someone who is a socialist authoritarian on the right, okay? If you want to get SRS, just downstairs, you shouldn't be going in the fucking bathrooms unless the top half looks the part, you know? It's just like saying, like, right now, I'm in my fucking podcasting attire. So this looks like I'm a podcaster right now. Well, what if I dress up as a doctor, you know, and I go into a fucking hospital? I'm going to be accepted because I'm dressed as a doctor. It's sort of like Fallout 3, or not Fallout 3, New Vegas. You wear a faction armor, you're with that faction, you're with that crew of people. But if you want to just, you know, get sex reassignment surgery just to try out the different parts because you're bored, that's fine. You want to pay to get a tit job? Fine. You want to pay to get a dick job? Fine. You want to pay to get a pussy job? Whatever. Vaginoplasty, or they call it. I don't care about that stuff. You want to get that? Get it. You don't need to change literally every single fucking thing. From pronoun to whatever. Going in the women's room when you look like this. Like, and I've seen men do this where they're bald, beard, the whole face covered in beard, and slight man boobs, and they're going in the women's room and they're identifying. They're saying, "Oh, I identify as female. It's on my my driver's license. I got my gender changed." And it's this big burly dude that's like 6-7 foot tall, you know, and I've seen it. I've seen a video of a guy like that walking into a women's room in a McDonald's. And I gotta sit there and I gotta think, it's like, this is the stuff that Trump's advocating against because it's not right. As I'm saying, though, like, if you want to get your downstairs changed, you know, feel free. If you want to give yourself some moobs, as they call it, moobs, so man titties, you know, give yourself some man titties, you know. You can see me jiggling mine, but, like, you don't fucking... In today's society, it's these people that are pushing this shit, and they think the left is wholly supportive of that. Do you know that the right, there are some people on the right that support gays and trans people, if you can believe that. It's not just the left. And I think that's predominantly why people are still hanging on to the idea of the left. It's either that or the fact that they still want their Social Security, which Donald Trump's in office. He could take away Social Security, so if he hasn't done so all this time, then why haven't you switched over, you know? So I guess that maybe this is my attempt at kind of giving like a last message to people that, you know, maybe they want to switch over. But, you know, if we can't calm the fuck down, you know, smoke some more weed, get together and actually have a conversation, this country will go into civil war. We will start stockpiling on guns to protect yourselves and your home, your family, everything that you have, because just nothing is going to be safe anymore. Okay? And that woman you saw earlier in that video clip demanding the death of Charlie's kids and wife, if I saw that bitch in real life, there wouldn't even be a comment. I'd give her the same treatment Charlie got. That'd be the end of the conversation. Because that was a pure evil statement. Wiping evil out at gunpoint or, you know, whatever, public execution. I've said this time and time again in my personal public opinion, and I've said it right to the POTUS on Twitter, you know, right to Donald Trump. We need to bring back public execution to instill fear into people, put it on pay-per-view, and make sure these criminals stop. We keep letting criminals out 14 times and they stabbed that fucking Ukrainian girl. Why hasn't that guy been put in front of a fucking firing squad? Why hasn't that guy gone out, turned out, got out because of their, oh, let's let the criminals out and give them a second chance? Why hasn't that criminal or those individuals ever gotten out, turned around, and just fucking stabbed the prosecutor that let him out? I'd be surprised if something like that happened, because then it's just like, well, after 13 other victims and circumstances, I think it's your turn now because you keep letting them the fuck out. It's like, you just use your brains for 5 fucking seconds. Just 5 seconds. I swear, the left is as fucking retarded as AI on cell phones these days, man. Whenever you call up a company, it's like, oh, hello, I am an AI assistant. Let me direct your calls to an actual person. After fucking screaming into the fucking voice repeatedly over and over, trying to talk to an actual human. Speak to human, speak to human. That's the left right now. Deadass, that's the left. Useless, stupid, can't account for what they're saying. They're not ready for what they're saying, and they're not ready to take responsibility for what they're saying. I'll take responsibility for what I'm saying because I'm fucking sitting right here. People like this don't need to exist. Or, no, let me rephrase that. People like this that are educated in the way that they have been to say shit like this need re-education. They need to be in correctional facilities. That's the best I'm going to say it. I'm not going to say... I'm not going to get on the comparison of they should be gunned the fuck down like Charlie. Because then the right's murder. You know? The right's a murder party. That's not what that's all about. It's neither left nor right that should be a murder party. It should just be... Everything should just be fucking peaceful. Unfortunately, vigils are getting interrupted. Which I think is fucking disgusting. I think that's really, really disgusting. Before I end it, real quick. We're gonna go back real quick and look for this one. They beat the shit out of this guy. That's not the one I was looking for. This idiot. This fucking idiot. This one in the white.
He's black and he's a sellout with the Broncos shirt. You a sellout, boy. ACJ. We know you.
This was the guy I was talking about in the beginning with the rainbow straps.
Hey, put me online, baby. Put me online. You saw what they did on that free speech. I came out here for free speech. Y'all came with this. Hey, 30, 40. Give me the ones, baby. Shoot the ones with me. Anybody. All y'all. Charlie Kirk!
He's screaming this at the respect vigil, where people are just praying peacefully.
Charlie Kirk! You're a piece of shit. Come with it. You're protected. You're bad. No, believe in these. Believe that.
So let me ask this. To gay rights activists, and to Black Lives Matter activists, do you represent this retard? Ignore that, that was my cat. Do you represent this retard? I don't think you do. I'm pretty sure you don't.
Believe that. No, believe that. I didn't ask for no help. I didn't ask for no help.
I like how this guy, who's like mixed race, right? He's not even fully black. Is, you know, coming out there and fucking insulting another black guy as a, quote, Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives actually matter to you, why are you antagonizing black people in this situation? He's like, you're a traitor. This is an Antifa. That's what that is. That's a left Antifa. Out for attention, like a fucking retard. The cops are there, and they arrest him. Cops had enough. They're like, yeah, no, shut the fuck up. You're done. You had your right to say something stupid. Now you're in jail. Look at this fucking retard. The fucking purple hair. You're gonna challenge the police and scream at them with a microphone? What are you, a fucking faggot? What are you gonna do? You're gonna assault them with body cameras, and you're gonna get fucking aggravated assault charges. Oh, and what is it? Assault on an officer. So battery on an officer, assault on an officer, public disturbing, and a few other things. All in all, you're looking at like $1,500 in fines. You gonna cost that because you're a purple hair fucking idiot? Yeah. So yeah, isn't that just great? This is the modern America right now. Apparently my cat is in my background. I don't know if you can see him walking around. Buddy, you over there? Psst. Maybe you'll come around. If I just touch the backdrop, maybe you'll appear, right? Maybe. Psst. Hey. There he is. Hey, buddy. Sometimes he just likes to come down here and say hello to me. Isn't that right, Moon? But nah. Sometimes in modern America that we have today, unfortunately, we have a lot of left idiots. I don't know what the stages of this civil war are going to be. I don't know the steps yet. I wish I knew. I wish I knew so we all could be ready to be safe. Because if our words are not safe anymore, then what of our environment? What of our work? What of our income? What of our safety, our homes, everything? Because everything right now is not stable at all. Nothing's good right now.